He will wipe away
Welcome
every
back.
tear
This
from
is
your
Hope
eye.
at Dawn at Hope TV, where you look and
Yes.
live. It's time for the dailies,
Time for
getting
the
to see
dailies.
what is being reported in today's newspapers, the Daily
Yes.
Nation, and also I've seen the Standard, and also part of the Business Daily. And it is just the sad news that we woke up to yesterday, the demise of a hero, talented athlete. This is a tribute to Kenya's rising star, Kelvin Kiptum, born 1999, died 2024. At only 24 years, Kelvin Kiptum was the men's marathon world record holder, crowned last year on his third major race. He was destined for greatness, but his dream to run the 42 kilometers marathon in under 2 hours, a first in open competition, it was shattered yesterday when he was killed in a road crash. And the story has extensively been covered on pages 2, 3, 37, 38, and 39. And there is a mangled wreckage of the vehicle in which Kiptum, his Rwandese coach Gervais Hakizamana, and another passenger were traveling in at Kaptagat police station in Elgeyo Marakwet County yesterday. And the whole world in mourning. A star marathoner dies in road accident. Kiptum was a superstar. His marathon world record ran in Chicago last October, catapulting him to near cult status in the running world. A sad story there. I also see Kelvin Kiptum's widow, Asenath Jeruto, consoled by relatives at the athlete's Chepsamo village home in Elgeyo Marakwet County yesterday. And former half-marathon world record holder Jeffrey Kamworor, speaking to journalists outside the Racecourse Hospital mortuary in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, where the bodies of marathon champion Kiptum and his Rwandese coach had been taken following a fatal accident. And tributes pouring in from all corners of the world, from President William Ruto, who described him as a star, to World Athletics President Sebastian Coe, who said, "We are shocked and deeply saddened to learn of the devastating loss of Kiptum and his coach." I also see opposition leader Raila Odinga, devastating news as we mourn the loss of remarkable individual Kelvin Kiptum, world record holder and Kenyan athletics icon. I see Olympic marathon champion Eliud Kipchoge. I'm deeply saddened by the tragic passing of the marathon world record holder and rising star Kelvin Kiptum, an athlete who had a whole life ahead of him to achieve incredible greatness. That was Eliud Kipchoge's tribute. You can read that story inside the Daily Nation, pages 2, 3, and then 37, 38, and 39. Right, still on the front page of the Nation, e-citizen nightmare. It was meant to ease access to public services by enabling Kenyans to apply and pay for them at their convenience using their mobile phones or computers. A noble idea on paper, but the e-citizen plan is now characterized more by patients waiting hours on end to see doctors, car dealers unable to register and transfer ownership of vehicles, and banks battling similar NTSA registration hurdles. The red tape just got worse. That is what the Nation is reporting. And you can read that story on page 6 and 7 inside the Daily Nation. I see Ruto trying to eclipse the National Security Council. Raila alleges bill seeks to allow president to nominate National Security Advisor. Now, this new office does not fit into this structure, and its creation is an attempt to create a new national security organ outside the architecture of the Constitution. That is according to opposition leader Raila Odinga. You can read that on page 4. President returns to restive Mount Kenya. Deputy President on Saturday got the backing of Nyoro and said the region must remain united. There have been grievances in the region, especially around agriculture, including coffee debt and poor returns. So President Ruto is expected to visit Murang'a, Nyeri, and Kiambu counties tomorrow and on Thursday amid economic and political rumblings in the region. Get to see what is happening there. I also see a city gas trader in the dock over illegal illegal sale. Hassan accused of refilling gas cylinders of other brands without consent. Read that inside the Nation. I also see 4 Devani co-accused in Triton oil saga set free. The 4 were tried in Devani's absence after he fled the country in 2008. Then the DN2 pull out today, the Healthy Nation, how I have lived with HIV for 22 years. Read that inside the pullout. See environment, livelihoods hit as water hyacinth returns to Lake Victoria. Right. Read that inside the Nation. Secretary, Cabinet yet to ratify bill on CAS's positions. Leader of Majority Ishongwa tabled the bill in Parliament. There's no cabinet memo or bill on this bill. Wanjao tells Joint Parliamentary Committee. And of course, inside the Nation, it's all about let's mourn Champ honorably. He loved his children dearly and had great plans for the family. It's all about Kiptum. Coach Kiptum insisted we take photos at final training sessions. Tragic echoes of Wanjiro as we mourn world marathon record holder Kiptum. At the time of their deaths, both were London Marathon course record holders and reigning Chicago Marathon champs with big ambitions. And then I see home victory, a fitting end to Cote d'Ivoire's campaign. Nigeria's Trust Ekong named most valuable player in the tournament. Final loss to Ivorians breaks Nigerian hearts. That is covered in the Daily Nation.
All right. And when we cross over to the Standard, it is still the very sad demise. We have Legend's last promise, and marathon record holder spoke to the 2 people dear to his heart, his father and his wife. He made them a promise that may just be that. To his wife, he vowed to be the first human to run a marathon under 2 hours. To his father, he had bought land and actually pledged to build a church. Sunday night, the legendary athlete bowed out after being involved in a tragic accident. And his world record, that was 2 seconds and 35 milliseconds, Kevin Kiptum clocked when he broke the marathon record in Chicago on October 8th, 2023. He had hoped to lower it further in Rotterdam on April 14th. And I see here Kiptum's father confirming what we have just read. My son had bought land for my local church, IFC. He had promised to begin the construction, but he has left us in a tragic accident. Asnet Kiptum saying, gave him my full support when he promised to break his own world record. I promised to run affairs at home and also encouraged him. And of course, we have a tribute from Eliud Kipchoge, who is also a marathon champion, saying, I am deeply saddened by the tragic passing of the marathon world record holder and rising star Kevin Kiptum, an athlete who had a whole life ahead of him to achieve incredible greatness. I offer my deepest condolences to his young family. May God comfort you during this trying time. And of course, William Ruto saying Kelvin Kiptum was a star, arguably one of the world's finest sportsmen who broke barriers to secure a marathon record. And we have more and more tributes. That is on page 2, 3, and also 38. And when we cross over to the second page, I see here, basically we have the picture of the wife who is really, really saddened here, and also just a story about how the family and friends took it in. And we also have a bit of a brief about the name, his profession, his date of birth, and all that, and also Kiptum's early career as well. And I also see here a picture of the fateful crash that ended the athlete's career. They said that the car veered off the road and hit a big tree. And this, led to the demise of the 2, that is the coach and also Kelvin Kiptum. May their souls rest in peace. And when we cross over to the 5th page, Raila cautions against security legislation. He says Office of the National Security Advisor is an attempt by Kenya Kwanza to create a new national security organ outside the provision of constitution. Opposition leader says the parliament has no power unless through a constitutional amendment to alter mandate of National Security Council. And on the 6th page, court acquits 4 persons in one out of many Triton oil cases. So 4 have been released. Dismissal of case marks the end of 22-year trial in which Devani was tried in absentia. He was accused of engineering release of company's fuel from KPC storage tanks without informing financiers. That's a story you can find on page 6. And a sad story also on the crime beat, a female teacher stabbed to death in broad daylight at her home. Quite unfortunate. That is on page 7. And of course, I see also Court of Appeal orders ex-Nairobi finance officer to forfeit a property. Former Nairobi finance executive Jimmy Kiamba and his wife are sued by the EACC. Read about that on page 8. And more we have here, that frustrations as KUCCP's portal collapses as well. I see learners unable to access the system for several days. And maybe lastly, there is just something that I see here on the health, that is on the opinion. I see we need to change how we view mental illness and suicide. This is an article that goes hand in hand with our conversation of the day today. So you can look at it and get more informed on page 14. The back page, of course, we are still having Ivory Coast, the elephants still celebrating, still a huge relief. And we have some statements from various people, you know, just talking about how this was unexpected for some of them. Remember, Hala scored the winning goal for host 9 minutes from the end. Ivory Coast claimed the third Africa Cup of Nations title with a 2-1 win. And lastly here, I see KCB banks 195 million with 2024 Safari Rally. And Wild Mounts marathoner say athlete was yet to hit his prime. Athlete died together with his coach in a road accident. Still on the story of Kelvin Kiptum, we have tributes from other marathoners that is on the page 38 of the sports page. That's the Standard.
Right. And that is what is being reported in the dailies. Remember, also right here at Hope Media, we have you covered. We have Newswatch every top of the hour right here at Hope FM and at Hope TV at 4 p.m. News on the go. 7 p.m. we have Dira, and 9 p.m. we have Newswatch to just let you know what's happening. And of course, this is to help us know what's happening in our nation. And also as believers, we get to know how to pray for the +254.
Beautiful, amazing. We've come to the end of our analysis of the daily, the Standard, but you can grab a copy of your favorite newspaper. So right about now, let us look at the video of the day, and then when we get back, we'll talk about it. Please do stay with us.